When a tree starts to show its age, or in this case, a split personality, sometimes it needs a little help to stick around. At the Tamarack in Beckley, a massive pin oak with a co-dominant trunk was on the verge of falling, threatening the event space below. But instead of cutting it down, arborists stepped in with a lifeline. Newswatch reporter Danny Delenti was on the scene to bring you the details.
This tree has stood for decades, but its future was hanging by a branch. Its two main trunks, known as a co-dominant stem, were pulling apart, and the center was hollowing out. Rather than chop it down, certified arborists from Trinity Tree Services stepped in with a plan to keep it standing tall.
I am surprised that it hasn't already fallen. So what we said, what we could do to it was to go ahead and do some remedial care. And you can see we're putting some brace bolts in down in the forks, and then up above, we're going to go ahead and put some support brace cabling. We'll put them in an X, and that tree ought to be there, barring tornadoes, tsunamis, hurricanes, or whatever. That tree should be there for a long time.
The process involves drilling bracing bolts through the trunk, crossing them in an X pattern, and stringing high-strength cables through the upper branches. Think of it as a permanent hug to keep the tree from splitting.
So what we want to do is just put the bolts in there to prevent the tree from separating and peeling apart. So with proper tree work and care of the tree, we'll take good care of it. They should live a long, healthy, happy life.
And while drilling into a tree might sound harmful, experts say it's actually a minor procedure, more like stitching up a wound than creating a new one.
A lot of people think it's invasive to drill into a tree, but it's actually a non-invasive procedure. And so we're kind of like a tree doctor today. We're just going in and doing a little surgery on him and making him feel better, and stitching him back up. So it should be, like I said, hopefully it'll enjoy it for years to come.
For these arborists, saving a tree is always preferable to removing one. And with a combined 80 years of experience, they've talked plenty of people out of cutting them down.
When there's hope for it, like a tree like this, when there's hope for it, we want people to really save their trees. I've had people come back to me 10 years later and say, "Oh, I'm so glad you talked me out of cutting that tree down."
The tree work is just one part of a larger preservation effort at the Tamarack. Along with removing hazardous limbs, new trees have been planted so the landscape can thrive for the next generation.
The trees have been overgrown. They've been here since the 90s and really have never been tended to. And Tamarack got a hold of us and wanted us to do an assessment, see what needed to be done. So we went through and we did a nice, what they call a safety prune. And they planted all new trees, smaller trees, and so they'll be ready for the next generation.
Next time you see a tree with bolts and cables, know that it is not being taken down. It's being given a new chance to stay rooted in place. In Raleigh County, I'm Danny Delante for Newswatch.